Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
So today is your last, no?
Yes, sir. Today is the final.
Oh, fine. Today is your final. So how many participants are there?
So there are 12 participants.
Have they joined?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So we can start. Gayatri? Gayatri?
Yes, ma'am.
Gayatri, are you there?
Yes, started.
Okay, ma'am, I am going to start. I will take it. First of all, a very happy 73rd Republic Day to one and all. You know, there is this line which our former World Cup winning captain MS Dhoni says that process is more important than the result. Rather than focusing on the result, we should focus on the process because that's the controllable part of it. You know, the important part is that we learn in the process because even if we don't get the desired result, we learn something from it. So, with that thought, a very warm good evening to all the wonderful people present here, respected chief guests, participants, judges, NSS volunteers, and the people watching us live on our YouTube channel. I, Vivek Kumar, your host for the evening, welcome you all to the final showdown of War of Words. Let's debate it. The final chapter where our 12 finalists will debate against each other. A debate is an organized argument or contest of ideas in which the participants discuss a topic from two opposing sides. Those who agree with the statement are affirmatives, those who disagree are the negatives. Each side will show in a clever way why they believe to have the right answers. They will use examples, evidences to support their ideas while working towards conclusion. Now, my friend Gayatri will welcome our chief guest. Gayatri, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Vivek. So, I would like to thank all our guests for coming here from their they have taken time from their busiest schedule and came to this meet. Thank you so much. So, we have our guest, Dr. Ghanshyam sir, our professor in charge of NSS, Raghunandan sir. We are extremely thankful that you have came here. And sir, I would like to ask you if you want to address the meet. Ghanshyam sir, if you would like to address the meet. Sir, you are not unmuted.
Sir,
Muted.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। और सबसे पहले मैं जो है आप लोगों को शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ कि एनएसएस के तरफ से और आज जो है 26 जनवरी के दिन आप लोगों ने जो डिबेट अरेंज किया है और मुझे जो दिख रहा है, जो लोगो दिख रहा है एनएसएस का, उस पे जो है कोणार्क का व्हील दिखाई पड़ रहा है और 24 आवर्स का मतलब है कि आपको 24 घंटा जो है सोचना है। क्या सोचना है? स्वयं के लिए नहीं, दूसरों के लिए। और साथ ही साथ जो है जो रेड कलर जो इसमें दिख रहा है ना, तो रेड कलर जो है वो आप जानते ही कि रेड कलर जो है वो ऊर्जा का प्रतीक है, एनर्जी का सिंबल है। मतलब जब तक से आप ऊर्जावान नहीं रहिएगा और आपकी सोच जो है दूसरों के लिए नहीं रहेगी, तब तक से आप जो है जो गवर्नमेंट का जो कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट स्कीम है उसमें अपनी हिस्सेदारी नहीं कर सकते। और उसके चारों तरफ जो है ब्लू कलर दिख रहा है मुझे, और यह अपने आप स्वतः स्पष्ट है कि जो ब्लू कलर है वो कॉस्मोस को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, जहां तक मुझे लगता है, जो मेरी धारणा है। ये जो कॉस्मोस है, चारों तरफ कॉस्मोस है, और कॉस्मोस में जो है हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस क्या है, छोटी एक, वी आर द टाइनी पार्टिकल इन द कॉस्मोस। मतलब कि अगर हम ये मानेंगे कि हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस जो है वो बहुत ही छोटा है, तो हमारे अंदर अहंकार नहीं होगा। जब आपके अंदर अहंकार की भावना नहीं होगी तो आप स्वयं के लिए नहीं, परमार्थ के लिए सोचिएगा, दूसरों के लिए सोचिएगा। और साथ ही साथ आपको जो है 24 घंटे ऊर्जावान रहना है, 24 घंटे जो है कम्युनिटी की सर्विस के लिए अपने आप वो उपलब्ध कराना है। ये जो है एनएसएस का जो है नेशनल सर्विस स्कीम, जिसके आप हिस्सेदार हैं, मुझे लगता है कि आज के वक्त लगभग 4 मिलियन के आसपास जो है इसके मेंबर्स होंगे। और ये गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है एनएसएस जो है वो, और इसके जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनसे अपेक्षा की जाती है कि कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट स्कीम जो है उसमें अपनी सहभागिता निभाए। और मेरे बच्चों, मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है कि जो है इसके जो हमारे प्रोफेसर इंचार्ज है रघुनंदन जी जो हैं, जिनकी सोच भी बहुत व्यापक है ना। तो यहाँ पे हमें कॉस्मोस से सेंटर पर आना है और सेंटर से फिर जो है आउटर रेडियस कॉस्मोस में जाना है। और साथ ही साथ ये सिंबल है कोणार्क का जो बिल है, और आपका धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूँ। और आप लोगों ने जो डिबेट का आयोजन किया है, आज के समय पे जो नौकरी जो है उसका जो सबसे पहला जो की कहते हैं ना, की टू सक्सेस जो है वो जो है स्किल डेवलपमेंट का है। और स्किल में भी जो है 2 चीजें हैं, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल और लीडरशिप क्वालिटी। तो सोचिए कि जब आप डिबेट करते हैं तो 3 मतलब कितनी चीजें आपके साथ एक्ट करती है। एक तो आपका प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड है, दूसरा जो है कहते हैं कि एक्टिव लिसनर भी जो है, और साथ ही साथ जो है बेस्ट जो है कम्युनिकेटर, मतलब कम्युनिकेट करना कि आप जो है अपनी भावना को जो है कितने कंसाइज रूप में, कितनी अच्छी तरह जो है अपने मतलब बोलने का जो नजरिया, बोलने का जो एस्पेक्ट्स है, मतलब जो है कहते हैं कि वर्बल होता है, ओरल होता है, रिटन होता है और बॉडी लैंग्वेज होता है। तो जब आप डिबेट करते हैं तो आपका कॉमन सेंस, आपका प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड, आपका ओरल कम्युनिकेशन, आपका बॉडी लैंग्वेज और कंटेंट, सब्जेक्ट कंटेंट, कि कब किस तरह जो है अपना जो आपके पास कंटेंट है उसको किस वक्त जो है कैसे पेश करना है। और लीडरशिप क्वालिटी होता है। और बॉडी लैंग्वेज बहुत ही जरूरी है कि अपनी बात को एक सलीके और तरीके से जो है प्रस्तुत करना, मतलब हाउ टू कम्युनिकेट योरसेल्फ, कि सामने वाला जो है आपसे प्रभावित हो जाए। तो मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है कि आप लोग जो है हमारे बच्चों को जो है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल को डेवलप कर रहे हैं। वो जेडी में बहुत सारे लड़के छड़ जाते हैं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि ये डिबेट जो होगा, डिबेट में प्रॉस और कॉन दोनों है, क्योंकि याद रखिएगा कि आर्गुमेंट जो होता है दैट जनरेट्स हिट, आर्गुमेंट जो होता है दैट जनरेट्स हिट, बट डिस्कशन इट कम्स विथ रिजल्ट। तो ये आपका फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन होगा और इस डिबेट में जो है कुछ न कुछ अच्छी चीजें आएंगी, जिसको आप जो है एनएसएस के प्लेटफॉर्म से फॉर द सेक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द सोसाइटी यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट इट। इज इट क्लियर? मेरी बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। आपने मुझे वक्त दिया, ये आपकी महानता है। यू आर ग्रेट। इज इट क्लियर? क्योंकि आप महान हैं कि आपने मुझे एक छोटा सा वक्त दिया। और मैं पुनः जो है शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ रघुनंदन जी का, प्रोफेसर इंचार्ज का, जिनके मार्गदर्शन में एनएसएस बहुत अच्छा कार्य कर रहा है। और हमारे वॉलंटियर्स जो दिख रहे हैं, मैं चेहरे से भी सबको पहचानता हूँ और आप लोगों से भी जो है मैं हमेशा रूबरू रहता हूँ और आप लोगों से बहुत कुछ सीखता हूँ। जिंदगी कहा जाता है कि लर्निंग इज ए कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस। मैं अपने विद्यार्थियों से बहुत कुछ सीखता हूँ और मैं आज जो कुछ भी हूँ अपने विद्यार्थियों के चलते हूँ। मेरी बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं। और आपका कार्यक्रम जो है B.I.T सिंदरी में जो है एक नजीर प्रस्तुत करेगा और हमारे विद्यार्थियों को इस लायक बनाएगा कि हमारे विद्यार्थी जो है कहीं भी अगर इनको एक मंच दिया जाए, प्लेटफॉर्म दिया जाए, देन दे कैन कम्युनिकेट देमसेल्फ, है ना, इन अ बेटर वे। थैंक यू। बाय बाय। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू सर। Gayatri, we have Praful sir, so please.
Okay. So I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Praful sir. He is our alumni from batch 1972. Welcome to the meet, sir. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule and coming to this meet and gracing this meet. Sir, if you would like to address this meet.
No, I'm very happy to be here, and I'll just listen. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Raghunath sir, if you want to address something, so please.
Thank you.
प्रफुल्ल सर नमस्कार, कुछ बच्चों को अपने उद्बोधन से जो है जागृत कीजिए।
हाँ, रख दो
सर। घनश्याम सर वो हम लोगों के सब प्रेरणा के स्रोत हैं। वो कितने बढ़िया तरीके से, है ना, कितना बढ़िया तरीके से लोगों को लेकर एक्सप्लेन किया और लगभग सारा जो एस्पेक्ट्स है वो सारा स्फीयर उन्होंने। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच, है ना। और दूसरा ये है, सर ने बहुत अच्छा से कहा कि अगर हम चैतन्य महाप्रभु का एक है ना, उसमें भगवान कहते हैं तीर्णादपि सुनी चैना तरुरपि सहिष्णुना आमानी ना मान देना कीर्तन्या सदा। तो उसमें बोलते हैं कि तीर्णादपि सुनी चैना। सो अगर जैसे सर ने बोला हमेशा आप एनर्जेटिक रहना चाहते हैं तो ये चार चीजें वो हमेशा रखना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज है ना आप रह नहीं सकते, एनर्जेटिक रह नहीं सकते, वो एग्जॉस्ट हो जाएगा, है ना। क्यों नहीं रह सकता, वो आगे बताए। और कैसे रह सकता है? तीर्णा, अपने आप को कम से जितना कम हो सके उतना रखना। तीर्णा मैंने उसको बोलते घास के तिनके के बराबर समझना। तीर्णादपि सुनी चेना तरोरपि सहिष्णुना। We should be tolerant more than the tree। तो वो ट्री कितना टॉलरेंट होता है, ठंडा गर्मी बरसात है ना, झेलता है। और इवन दो फ्रूट्स हम लोग उसका यूज करते हैं, है ना, उसका वुड यूज करते हैं, वो कुछ नहीं बोलता है। उसके बाद तीर्णादपि सुनी चेना तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानी ना मान देना। कभी भी मान की इच्छा नहीं रखना चाहिए, कभी भी मान की इच्छा नहीं रख। मान मतलब है ना कि हमको कोई ग्लोरीफाई करे, हमारा रिस्पेक्ट करे, ये इच्छा नहीं रखना चाहिए, ये बड़ा खतरनाक है। तीर्णादपि सुनी चेना तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानी ना मान देना, और दूसरे को हमेशा मान देना। अपना मान की इच्छा नहीं रखना, अपने मान की इच्छा नहीं, दूसरे को हमेशा मान देना। तो हम लोग पूरा एनर्जेटिक रहेंगे, है ना, क्योंकि इसमें हमारा कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं है ना, सब कुछ दे रहे हैं, हम टॉलरेंट है, जो कहेगा टॉलरेट कर लेंगे। लेकिन क्या है कि ऐसा कर पाना बड़ा मुश्किल है। क्यों नहीं कर पाएंगे? उसका कारण है ना, क्यों कि हमारा मन इंद्रिया वो कंट्रोल नहीं है, ईगो कंट्रोल नहीं। वी आर ड्रिवन बाय आवर ईगो, isn't it? So it's very difficult, but we should try to be to approach this, sometimes given by the Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya himself. Thank you very much। एनएसएस के जो भी लोग हैं, इतना मेहनत करके, आज छुट्टी का भी दिन था, ऑर्गेनाइज के बच्चों के लिए। और प्रफुल्ल सर हमारा जो चीफ गेस्ट है उनको भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। घनश्याम सर टाइम निकाले, है ना, और आज जुड़े हैं। सर बहुत बिजी रहते हैं, बहुत सारे है ना मीटिंग रहता है, और भी बहुत सारा लिखते वगैरह भी हैं, बहुत बिजी रहते हैं, फिर भी सर ने टाइम निकाला। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, है ना। बच्चों को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि उन्होंने समय निकाला और इतना अच्छा। एक डायरेक्टर सर आज सुबह ही बोले कि देखो आज तुम ऐसा एक डिस्कशन है, कुछ एनएसएस का है, तुम उधर रहना, मेरा थोड़ा मुश्किल है, तुम उधर रहना। बोले सर हम ट्राई करेंगे, मेरा भी एक मीटिंग है ना, एक मुंबई से एक मीटिंग है, पर मैं कोशिश करूंगा जितना एक्सटेंड कर सकूँ एक्सटेंड करूँ। थैंक यू सर, घनश्याम सर, थैंक यू बच्चों।
Thank you, Raghunath sir, Ghanshyam sir, Praful sir. Now I would like to welcome our judges for the final chapter of this event. Shimli ma'am, Abhinav sir, Roshan sir, Soumya ma'am, Adya ma'am and Ananya ma'am. Now my co-host Priyanshu will brief you about the rules and the judging criteria. Thereafter, judges will disclose the topic for the debate. So Priyanshu, over to you. Mukund or Gayatri, you can share your screen. Mukund, share your screen.
Thank you, Vivek.
Yeah.
Okay. Gayatri, let's move to the rules slide. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Now let me brief you all about the rules and judgment criteria. So, unparliamentary, rough, or rude words will not be entertained and lead to disqualification of the participant. Participant must maintain the decorum of the debate. Every participant will have 3 minutes to present their case or speech. After the second minute has passed, a warning buzzer will be blown for the speaker to warn the speaker that he or she is left with 1 minute of the allotted time. Exceeding the given time limit of 3 minutes will lead to negative marking. The speech will be followed by a rebuttal round, that is questioning round. Gayatri, next slide. So for rules for the rebuttal session is rebuttal round will be of 3 minutes for each participant. After the second minute has passed, a warning buzzer will be blown to warn that they are left with 1 minute. During the rebuttal round, other participants, audience, chief guests, and judges may ask questions to the speaker related to their speech. More preference will be given to the participants to ask questions during the rebuttal round. If no question is asked by the participants, then questions from others will be taken. No questions will be allowed after the allotted time interval of 3 minutes. Participants and audience who wish to ask a question have to write me in the chat box. The host or the convener will allow them to unmute and ask their questions. One person can ask only one question to a speaker and no cross questioning on the same question is allowed. Final buzzer will indicate that the time allotted to the speaker is over. Remember, participants supporting the opposite motion can only ask questions to the speaker. If a speaker is speaking for the motion, then negatives can only ask to him or her. So, Gayatri, next slide. So, now let me tell you all about the judgment criteria. 10 points for subject matter relevance, 10 points for voice modulation, 10 points for expression and gesture, and finally 10 points for the rebuttal round. I hope the rules and judgment criteria are clear to everyone. So I would like to invite my co-host Vivek to introduce the first participant.
Before that, we would ask our judges to disclose the topic.
Oh,
Gayatri, you
yes.
can stop sharing your screen. Judges, you can share your screen and disclose the topic. Soumya ma'am, Adya ma'am, anyone, please.
Hello, sorry for the delay. Yes, please affirm me when my screen is visible to you all.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So, is my
Yes, ma'am, it's
screen
visible.
visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
this is the topic that we will be debating on. Participants, please take a note of this topic.
So it's Republic Day, a day of immense prestige or just another government affair. So you have 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll start.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll
Ma'am,
be
please write
pasting
the
the
topic.
topic here. Yes, I'll do
Yes,
it.
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
What point do the affirmatives need to focus on? The immense prestige part or the government affair part? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Adya,
Yes,
ma'am.
it's all up to you. You can choose either of the part. The topic is right in front of you, and it's totally up to you how you take upon that.
Actually, ma'am, they are allotted with the affirmative and negative things, so they will do accordingly.
Okay, go for the affirmative part.
Yeah. So some will go for affirmative, some will go for negative. That way.
I'm sorry, but I didn't get a clearer picture actually. I mean, the affirmatives need to, again, as I said, affirmatives need to focus on the prestige of the day or what?
Dhananjay, it's a Republic Day, a day of immense prestige or just another government affair, and you are going for affirmative if I'm not wrong. So you have to focus on, is it a day of immense prestige or just another government affair? So on that thing you have to say, is it just a day of prestige or just another government affair?
I think affirmative should go with that. It is a day of immense prestige.
Yeah.
Negative should focus. No, it's another government affair.
Mukund, let the participants decide. It's their part. You don't
Okay,
need to clarify that much.
So it's 7:30. I think we can start the war of words. So let's have our first debater, Rishabh Singh. He's pursuing his mining engineering from B.I.T. Sindri batch of 2019. He will go for the motion. Rishabh, can we have you? Rishabh Singh, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Gayatri, please share the timer. Gayatri or Mukund. Rishabh sir, please unmute yourself.
Should I start?
No, Rishabh sir, please try to speak.
I think he's unmuted. No,
He's
no.
facing some issues.
Sir, you can rejoin.
Rishabh, please rejoin.
You are not audible, sir.
Yes. Yeah, you like to rejoin.
Vivek, till he joins, you can call the next participant.
Okay. Priyanshu, please move on to the next participant.
Okay. So our next speaker is Zana Randeep. He is currently pursuing his B.Tech in B.I.T. Sindri from Mechanical Branch, batch of 2020, and he will be going against the motion. Dana, go ahead. Please unmute yourself.
I think some issue is there.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, Anna.
Okay.
Please
Good
turn
evening,
on your
everyone.
camera. Yeah, Gayatri?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am Rana Randeep from Mechanical Engineering. I'll be speaking for the notion that Republic Day is just another government affair. The thing is, Republic Day, there is no doubt that Republic Day should be considered as a as a day of immense prestige. But the thing, at current scenario, it has come down to just another government affair. As you can see, as children, we we never used to tell the difference between the Republic Day celebration and Independence Day celebrations. In schools, we used to see the same flag hosting, same parade thing. The speeches used to be a bit different. Another difference that we used to see was that on Republic Day, the President of India hosts the national flag, while on on Independence Day, the Prime Minister of India hosts the flag. But the thing that should be happening is that we should tell the children and the common masses about the importance that this day holds. Rather than that, we mostly focus on what government does. Like on Republic Day, the March things happen on Rajpath, that is telecasted on DD channel. This is one of the things. So it has just come down to another government affair. Rather, it should be more about educating the youth about the importance of this day, about the importance of constitution, what constitution basically holds. That should be the main purpose of Republic Day celebration. But most of what we see is that mostly we see the government, what the government and other practices that happens by the prime minister and everyone. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. Mukund, you can start.
Yeah, so now let's move on with our rebuttal session. So if any of the other participants wants to ask some questions, so they can ask. They can type just me in the chat box. Jury members and chief guests can also ask the question if they want.
Gayatri, you can turn on the timer.
Rana, I have a question for you. As you said that you no longer feel pride or prestige while the Republic Day, when the army troops march on, still you feel the same?
Sir, I said that the army troops marching has no relation to the this day. Like on Republic Day, the Constitution was enforced, and the Constitution is something which gives rights and power to the common masses of people, and that should be glorified more than the army troops marching. That what importance does those rights holds? What importance that the democracy that the constitution provide to the nation holds, that too should be given more glorification, more importance on this day rather than that. And there's no doubt I have a immense prestige and pride on my army, and I feel proud about that. But at the same time, we should concentrate more on educating the masses too about on the day.
Yes, Anirban sir, you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. So, Rana, you just said that the government does not take any steps, right, to encourage the people down there. So, what do you think? Means, what steps can they take so
Sir,
that
I think
the youth
yes,
gets
sir.
encouraged? You think they are not getting encouraged? So, what is that?
Sir, I think the whole process of celebration of the Republic Day should be modified, should change a bit more the way it has been done. There should be some
How? That is
modification.
the question. How it can be changed more?
Sir, rather than doing marches and all those are good things. The government can take initiatives by guiding the schools to 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 conduct some events on Republic Days that can teach them about Constitution, about its importance, like what importance does that hold. Because when I was a child, I didn't used to understand what makes Republic Day different from Independence Day.
Sorry, I want to add, man, the question was not clear, I think. So the question was that, have you been to school? So there, I'm telling that you said that you have not felt like that encouraged, right, in your childhood. So in your
Yes, sir.
school, Republic Day, Independence Day were not conducted, right? That you mean to say that
No,
one you
sir.
don't know.
I mean to
You are an
say
adult
that,
person right now. You don't know about that. That is the thing.
sir, I want to say that both of the events used to held, and both of the events used to held mostly the same way. That was my point. Like all the things that used to happen, flag hostings and parade, just that. So there,
Rana,
I,
I would like to say something. Have you read political science in class 10th?
yes, sir, I have read that. Now I
Uh,
understand, but as a child, I didn't used to understand those things. I meant to say that.
Even if a child of 5 years could not understand the difference between Republic Day and Independence Day, that's not the point. You're saying that you should modify it in such a way that everyone could understand. So
Sir, still there are many of my friends that don't who don't have interest in these topics. They don't understand about it. Like, what is the importance of this democracy that we
So
hold?
how will you teach them? That was he was trying to ask you.
Sir, I don't have any particular changes that I have in mind right now, but government can make some changes in the way they celebrate this day.
You cannot completely deny on the government for each and everything. Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
time is up.
Thank you, sir.
Rana, we can have to move. So our
Thank you.
next debater is Dhananjay Khandelwal. He's pursuing his computer science engineering from IIT Kharagpur. He's of batch 2K21. So he will be going for the motion. Dhananjay, can we have you?
Are
Dhananjay?
you sure it was Dhananjay? The description was probably of someone else.
I don't think so.
You are in IT, right?
IIT BHU and mechanical
Okay,
professional.
okay. I just missed your
If there is some,
institute.
my turn or is it someone else's?
No, it's your turn.
Okay.
Affirmative, Dhananjay Khandelwal, IIT BHU. Okay.
That's not issue. I thought it was someone else. Okay.
No.
Thank you.
You can start. Please turn on your camera.
One sec.
Okay.
Yeah. So may I begin?
Gayatri, you can roll the timer. Please start.
Republic Day, the 26th of January every year, and Rajpath of Delhi NCR is on show. Tabloids of multiple wings of the nation, its states, its defense organization, and government agencies are decked up to be displayed to the world. A day of immense prestige indeed for the nation and its people. Our freedom fighters had, in fact, fought and brainstormed for years, trying to adapt a rulebook most befitting of the cultural and geographical diversity that India had to offer and execute it in the best possible way. Now, imagine the sight of a household 1 kilometer away from the epicenter of Indian Republic Day parade. No one in that household is interested in what the parade is about, what does the day represent, who all are present there on the Rajpath. A person in that very household opens up his newspaper next. He is akin to the sight of that newspaper. Cases of brutality against women, unrest in the subcontinent over the name of religion, caste, and creed, hatred among different folks, interstate disputes, and a full-fledged violation of the code of conduct set up by our constitution is all you can read. There is so little that our media and newspapers ever have to speak that is happy, that is constitutional. We have failed. Maybe the Constituent Assembly has too. The dream they had of giving to people of India a constitution that could ensure peace and harmony to be prevailing in the nation is still just a dream. While the Prime Minister of India weaves dreams of a brighter future to the 1.4 billion people of India, more than 50% of them turn uncomfortably in their dingy and dark surroundings. So, what is what is a Republic Day after all? A facade? A simple government affair, right? A day to celebrate the Constitution that was meant to make India a utopia, being obliterated every day from the people that Constitution represents. Thank you. I shall end my case here.
Thank you, Dhananjay. Mukund?
Okay, so now it's time for a rebuttal session. So if anyone wants to ask a question, they can write me in the chat box. So let's have some questions.
Gayatri, you can roll the timer.
Okay, Sanskar, you can ask.
so Dhananjay, you mentioned something about newspaper. I just want to ask you a simple question that the photos and pictures of what to say, the parade and all are also published in the very next day of the newspaper. And just after 2 to 3 days, we see people eating jhalmuris and all in the same newspaper. So could you please justify what kind of patriotism is this?
Thank you for your question, sir. I will want to again take your instance only. We see a picture of the Republic Day parade on a newspaper. Now just imagine a poor kid who has to make his living by selling balloons on the roadside. What does that picture of the parade represent to him? Nothing, sir, nothing. It's absolutely obsolete to him, whatever is going on that Rajpath. Do you still accuse that kid or any other kid or any other person for that matter who has to probably live in a condition that the constitution maybe itself um, is not critical is maybe even critical of? Do you accuse that person still of being apatriotic? I can't. I mean, that person is not apatriotic. He is not disrespecting his nation. He is simply a victim of his own circumstances. The circumstances that we as a nation need to change for that person and for millions like him also, but we fail, and the government fails to fulfill its duties, and that is probably why you see the sight of that person eating jhalmuri in that paper the next very day, because that picture, again, as I said, represents nothing to him. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhananjay.
Okay, Niku, you can ask.
Yeah, so you justified the newspaper being thrown the very next day, but how would you justify the Indian flag being thrown on the road the very next day of the Republic Day?
Thank you for your question, sir, but I don't think I am the most befitting person, and this platform is the most befitting platform to discuss on that. Disrespect of the Indian national flag, of the Indian national currency, or of anything that the nation represents is an offense. It is criminal, and that is something that the police or the related government agencies that should take care of. And in fact, we must in fact make our general public and people aware that disrespect of the Indian national flag is criminal. I will not say that people usually generally do this out of some inherent ambition or mindset. Most of the people are probably either not aware of the fact that they shouldn't do this, and most of the people are not aware of the proper way of disposing that international flag. So this is something that the newspaper, the media needs to spread among the people and make them more aware about. And I don't think this has anything to do with the Republic Day being a government affair or not. It's just a simple GK stuff that people are not usually very much aware of. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhananjay. Priyanshu?
Okay, so our next speaker is Akash Kumar. He is currently pursuing his B.Tech in B.I.T Sindri from Chemical Branch, batch of 2020, and he will be speaking against the motion. Akash?
Yes,
Can I have
good
your-
evening, honorable guests, judges, NSS volunteers, and my colleagues. I am Akash Kumar, and I will be speaking against the motion that is, Republic Day has just reduced to a government affair. Uh, uh, India got independence in 1947, and from then we were still following the laws which was mentioned in the Government of India Act, which was colonial and made by the British. It almost took 3 years for our Constituent Assembly, which was led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, to formulate our Constitution. We marked this day to celebrate that we adopted our Constitution and became a republic. And but since then, as time passed, we see that the very idea to celebrate Republic Day is losing its significance. What we see that as time passed, our politicians shifted from serving the nation to their own benefit kind of thing, which affected the idea to celebrate Republic Day, uh, the it seems that the patriotism is lacking. That Republic Day, we celebrate Republic Day to mark our adoption of Constitution, as well as to embrace the good things about our country, and as well as our strengths and weakness. Uh, in the local government, it is not that it is just the case in the Delhi where the main celebration is going. We can see in all over India, even in the local government offices, we see that it has just reduced to celebrating chocolates. It is a good thing, but I think it should be something more than that to make the very idea of celebrating Republic Day effective. And I would like to add that this COVID era is also taking us away from our heritage, like celebrating Republic Day. Since everything is online, we are disconnected from it. Concluding, I clearly see that the very idea of Republic Day is reduced to a government affair. Even to most of the grown-up individuals, it seems that it is just a government holiday. They are fully literate, privileged. Still, they don't understand the difference between government Independence Day and Republic Day, and they are not ashamed of it even. And I think we should focus more on uh, uh, remembering our past history, as well as learning what our country is, what our culture is, so that we are connected to our roots. And then only I think Republic Day celebration will actually be fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you, Akash. Mukund?
Yeah. So now let's move on to our rebuttal session. So if anyone wants to ask question, they can ask.
Gayatri, you can start the clock.
Okay, Akash. So don't you think that knowing about our constitution and culture, we have whole 365 days in a year. But don't you think on this day we should be more proud of our nation? So these parades and all flag hosting is more important because on this day we should be proud of our nation. No?
Yes, it is a very the all the parades going on. It gives a visually it gives a very good feel to be proud of our country, but I think it's not sufficient. Some visual thing is not sufficient. I think it should be something more than that. I think it should be within us that we respect our country from our heart, not just on one day. Like.
So, according to you, Akash, who is the person who respects his country from his heart?
Uh, that person is who is proud of the strengths of our country, India, as well as who is embracing its weakness as well and working towards to improve it. Not just embracing, working towards to improve it as well.
Okay, Arth, you can now ask a question.
Yeah, I would like to ask Akash that according to, as you said, that historical things should be thought of much, then I don't think so that according to your constitution is one of the roots that you are talking about. But according to me, I think so like constitution is one of the most important, deeply rooted thing on like it's a tree on which the whole country is standing.
Sorry, I don't. Can you please repeat?
Like according, like you said that there are many historical events that need to be celebrated. So according to me, that this writing of constitution is also one of the most important historical event that also must be thought of.
Yes.
Then what's your view that? Then why it should not be celebrated?
I didn't say that. I'm saying that it should be celebrated. I think I
Yes,
said
then
that it is being celebrated, but it has just reduced to a government affair. The essence is lacking. The idea of it seems a formal thing. It is not seeming to achieve its main thing.
then according to you, like it's not any prestigious event to us anymore.
It is, it is, but it is not. I think having that much impact as I think would have been having in the 50s or the 60s.
Suppose you are the prime minister, then what would you do to make it impactful?
A very effective way to do this is to uh, educate our children, to make slight changes in the curriculum. And not just to changing the curriculum, organizing the Republic Day in an effective manner as well.
Okay, Akash, you're out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Rishabh Singh is here. Rishabh sir, are you there? Our first debater. Rishabh sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please turn on your camera and you can go for the motion. Gayatri, please roll the timer. Sir, you can start.
So my name is Rishabh Singh and I will speak for the motion of the topic. So we just celebrated our 73rd Republic Day and we are still bound to think that is it our national pride or is it just the government affair? With no doubt, I can say that it is a day of immense prestige. A day celebrated of being republic can never be just a government affair. Let me first tell you why it is celebrated. So Republic Day is celebrated as on this day in 1950, the country adopted its constitution. The constitution that was formed under the leadership of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India. The constitution is not just a static document but a living document. And let me tell you that our constitution is largest among the world. A day when country shows off the world its valor, its courage through the magnificent parade and not just this at the same time showcases the unity and diversity through the various jhankis you must have seen in the today's parade also. My worthy opponent who think it's just a government affair, then I have one suggestion for you. Just witness the parade and check if you are overwhelmed and nostalgic with the feeling of patriotism. In concluding words, I would say that becoming republic was not just an easy job. Many freedom fighters have sacrificed their life and many intellects have worked day and night for this day. And those who think it's just a government affair, then I remember some lines of the poems of Deval Ashish. Let me recite it for you. शांति की उपासक है किंतु पड़े संकट तो शक्ति कुंज भारत भवानी जाग जाती है। गौरव का प्रश्न ललकारता है देश को तो आज भी अतीत की कहानी जाग जाती है। छेड़ा गया स्वाभिमान यदि मातृभूमि का तो सोए हुए सिंहों की जवानी जाग जाती है। और जागता सुभाष हर बांकुरे में और हर ललना में झांसी वाली रानी जाग जाती है। जागता सुभाष हर बांकुरे में और हर ललना में झांसी वाली रानी जाग जाती है। With this thought, I would like to conclude my words. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishabh sir. Mukund, you can proceed. Mukund.
Okay,
Please.
so now let's move on to a rebuttal session. So if anyone wants to ask a question, type me in the chat box. Okay, Dhananjay, you can go on with your question.
Um, Hello, sir. An excellent case. But the question was, the question was not should the Republic Day be just a government affair or a day of immense prestige? It was, is it a day of immense prestige actually? I mean, except from the parade that is held at the central level and at the state or district levels, there isn't any excitement, any participation of the general public of India in any of the activities of the Republic Day. So, how would you justify that?
I think the parade itself was being done by the public of people of India. So how can you say that it is not being participated? And even the entire country in various forms, in various organization and school, through the early classes, the kids are being told to participate in such a patriotic activities. So I think people are participating. How can you say that there is no participation?
Okay, Akash, you can go on with your question.
Rishabh sir, I would really appreciate those lines. Those were very good. Sir, my question is, do you really see that enthusiasm on 26th January or 15th August among our friend circle or etc.? And sir, did you watch the parade today? Honestly, sir.
Yeah, I did watch the parade. Actually, if possible, I was used to watch it every year, if possible. So the enthusiasm among our group, then I must tell you that many of peoples you might have in your friend circle only, you must have got many of wishes from you. What is this? This is just a way of expressing the love for country. You know, this is in actuality, in reality, we should give some moment for our country every day. But this day is especially devoted for this, so that's why we wish on that day. That doesn't mean that on others day we don't respect our. So yeah, I see enthusiasm among my group, and I have got many wishes from my friends too.
Okay, Rana, you can ask.
Thank you, Mukund. Rishabh sir, there is no doubt that we all feel enthusiastic and prestigious when we see our armed forces march and see all those parades on Rajpath. But the prestige that we feel that should be on our constitution, no, on this day, Republic Day, or our armed forces. We can feel that prestige on our armed forces on Army Day, Navy Day, or Naval Day. Republic Day should be focused on that, on prestige on our constitution, or as a nation as a whole. That is my question.
Oh, see, the constitution, it was not made just with a single word or in a single day. It was an entire set of, I think it took around 11 months to make a constitution. So in constitution itself, it was written that to maintain the decorum or to make the workflow in a particular manner, we need these forces. That's why I think we should be proud of them, and at the same time we showcase our valor to the entire world that yes, we are there to take any we are there to face any problems related to this. So this is not just related to constitution but entire nation, and the parade or contingent is included in that.
Okay, thank you, Rishabh sir.
Rishabh, just I have one question for you. From where did you read that the Constitution of India was made in 11 months?
Actually, I said around 11 months. I am not sure of the word.
It took about 2 years and 11 months. That's why I asked.
Okay, actually, I just read. I have not read it anywhere else right now.
Okay, no issues.
Okay, Rishabh sir, we can move. So our next debater is Preeti Chaudhary. She's pursuing as mechanical engineering from B.I.T. Sindri, batch of 2020. So we'll go for the motion. Preeti.
Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Vivek, Adya ma'am has a question in the chat box.
Okay.
Yes, I asked that. Rishabh, could you please just frame some of the special highlights that you noticed in today's parade? Rishabh, are you
Yes,
still there?
yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Yes.
I am audible. Yes, ma'am. The thing which I like most is the Jai Bhavani contingent of ITBP that was led by, which was basically a motorcycle team of the women who have never performed before such a thing on the parade. It was introduced first time in it, and the second was the air parade. I like the most was the air parade, which was again shown for the first time. Earlier we used to have only the ground view, but this time we also have air view of the parade. So I think I'm talking about the that flights and aircrafts of the formation of those, not of the contingent marching past. Right? We have aerial view of those two. So I think these 2 points I like most in this year's parade.
So I think now we can move on to the next participant.
Yes, Vivek. Next participant is Anibal, sir.
Nirvan, sir.
Yes.
Vivek, actually,
Yes,
no.
Yes,
Vivek, actually, there is some problem with issues in Urban Sir's home, so we have to take him.
Okay. Nirvan, sir, you can start.
Yeah, am I visible?
Yes, sir. You can
Yes.
start.
Please give me a second. But, please don't start the timer now. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Good evening, respected delegates present in this meeting, respected members of the jury, participants, and everyone present in this meeting. When I discover who I am, I will be free. And the whole of the India got freedom not on 15th of August 1947, but on 26th January 1950. The question will be how? We got physical independence on 15th of August. We got the whole independence on 26th of January. Because we got the right, what we are living over here. If you let a dog go on the streets and there are no people around there, he will do everything it can, but it doesn't know how to act. The Constitution, the most powerful document for all the Indians. Let me take you what the Constitution is given to us. The 6 fundamental rights. We have seen a very good movie coming up like Jai Bhim. Let me take a reference from it. A very good topic was introduced that was habeas corpus. No one knows it. Most of the people don't know. So Republic Day, a day of prestige, comes from here. The habeas corpus was an unlawful detention that prevented the lower caste people that were brutally beaten up and they were sent to jail because the other high caste people, they did murders, they did different type of criminal cases, and they had money, they had different type of things. But the Constitution, the 6 fundamental rights has given us the power, and that is what the Republic Day is. I don't care the people say that it's a government affair or not, but it's the duty and the right for each and every individual of Indian people, Indian terrain, to respect the Constitution. It is their act. God has given us everything, and it is not that just we have to act just to repay the thing. So let me take you to another rebound thing. We have seen the movie Sardar Udham Singh, right? And there was a very fantastic scene. The director, Dr. Mr. Shujit Shrikar, he was the director of the movie. He said that there was a scene, most of you must see that movie and just recall there. There was a garden scene, right? And it was written the garden was free of speech was written there. And he went there and he spoke everything during that time when he wanted. So that is the thing that the Republic Day is about, an immense prestige for all of us. The freedom, the how to act and represent ourselves throughout the world. That is what the Republic Day means. Acting and whatever is not sort of people. It's depend upon the minds of the people, how they act and react. Like the Republic Day is upon their thing. That is their mindset, how they act. So lastly, I want to say this particular thing, that is upon the mindset of the people. It's not us who can take the responsibility of other people. So thank you.
Okay, now so let's move on to our rebuttal session. So if anyone wants to ask a question, they can just chat me in the chat box.
Uh, okay, Nirvan, I have a question for you. So you mentioned that it's totally a mindset of people how they react upon this day. If they take this day as a prestigious day and they value this day, it's better for us and for the whole country. But if they do not, it's not. So what if the majority of the people are going towards a direction in which they are not valuing this day as much of making as a prestigious day or the day to remember and valuing it? So how can
Okay.
you answer that?
Yeah, very good thing. Okay. See, you are born to your father and mother, right? So when you are born, you are under their guidance. Okay, you are not that much that you will be stable. You keep on walking after you coming out of your mother's womb. You are made capable. So what is making capable? Your father, mother's guidance, your the whole society that is taking care about you. So what is this constitution? The constitution is that they are paving us, they are sharpening us. How do you get to know that you should study? How do you get to know? If there was no fundamental right present here, how will you study? Our father mothers should be betrothed that take the girl child to study, take the boy child to study. So that was the thing that was given by the constitution. And if they don't do, then it's their problem. The thing that is what, see, if you don't respect your father, nothing will happen. But the society will pinch you, society will tell you, and rest the god will take over. So that is what the thing I'm telling. Treat this, I'm telling one thing, that treat the constitution as god. It has given everything to us. We have to repay, and it is not the sense that we are repaying. How we can do it is priceless. It is priceless to repay the constitution. So that is the thing.
So you mentioned that if they are not valuing the constitution and making it a great day, it's their problem. But if the majority of the people of this country are doing the same, then how can be that their problem? It's a country problem.
Okay, tell me that if they don't respect the constitution, what will you do? You are a police officer, then what will you do? What is the rule that is made?
So
what is the rule that is made?
That's actually my question. That what?
That is the question. You are bounded. We are bounded to the constitution. You should follow that. That is the thing. You don't care. Police will take care of you. Last year, what did I say that Khalistani did over there? They climbed the Red Fort. They claimed their own this one. So ultimately, they have rested. They have rested. That is the thing. Majority go. That is nothing. Democratic. It is a democratic country. There is no issues. But the thing is that you have to do yourself. You have to face. You have to face the line which I said that when I discover myself, I will be free. So you're not discovering yourself. You are looking into others' things. That is the thing.
Okay, Ark, you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. I heard that you told that Constitution has given us powers and we are free now. So, do you really think, after observing such activities like corruption, disloyalty, child sexual abuse, and late punishment activities, and many more such acts, that are we really free now? Like Constitution, 75 years has passed since the Constitution was came into act. So, do you think we are really free now?
So can I answer the question? Time is up.
Yes, sir, you can.
Fine. So, Arth, I missed your last question, last point. Please, can you repeat the last point? I missed it.
Yes, sir. You told that the Constitution has given powers and we are free now. So, do you really think, after seeing such activities,
okay, fine. I got your question. Okay, see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Arth, tell me, right? Why was the administrative services made in India? Why was the administrative service made in India?
Sir, actually, the administrative services were made because many of the rules. First of all, the concept was taken from the Indian service that was done in the English time.
What do these administrative officers defend? What do they defend? Like a batsman defends the
Obviously-
ball from the wicket. What do they defend?
Obviously, the common people.
They defend the common people. Means, what is that thing that makes the common people defend? Means, there are certain rules regulation that we are about in the debate. We have made some rules regulation. What is that thing that it is defending? I gave certain examples, right? I gave certain examples. I gave a very good example of a movie Jai Bhim, where the topic of habeas corpus was given, right? So, see, the constitution has done its work. It has given us father mother buys us book, we study, we write, we do complete the syllabus, our thing. But you can't relate this shameful acts and these all with that why constitution was made, why do you favor the constitution in this aspect. The rules and regulations will be broken, then they will get the price to just go through that. There is no relation that why you are blaming constitution for that. There is no relation to the constitution breaking thing. I hope you're satisfied with the answer.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Priyanshu, you can move on to the next debater.
Yes.
Okay, our next speaker is Kakuli. She is currently pursuing her B.Tech in B.I.T. Sindri from Civil Branch batch of 2020, and she will be going against the motion. Go ahead.
Good evening, one and all. The topic of today's discussion is Republic Day, a day of immense prestige or just another government affair. And I'm speaking against the motion. Do you know how much amount is spent on the Republic Day celebration of our country? It is approximately 300 to 500 crores. Just imagine spending this hefty amount on a single day. Do you think this much amount it is just for instilling pride in the hearts of the Indians? This Republic Day was first celebrated on 26th January.
Is all with that why constitution was made. Why do you favor the constitution?
Dheeraj sir, please mute your mic. Yeah, Kakuli, you can.
India adopted its constitution on 26th of January 1950, and we do not know anything about the constitution even now after this many years have passed. Why? Because emphasis is not given on knowing what the constitution holds, but more on what how the country is demonstrated on the world level. We see many militaries parading and large marches being held on this day, just to show other countries that our country is, we are very proud of our nation. But just think, if this large amount is spent for the real development of the people, then what a difference it can make. We we talk about equality, we talk about unity and diversity on this day, but we see WhatsApp status of the different people. But do you really think people follow this in their daily lives? Do you really think that on the other days, the government focuses more on unity and diversity, or more on separating religions? The objective of Dr. Rajendra Prasad was, he said on his first day, that the objective of our republic is to secure justice, equality, and liberty for its citizens. But I clearly don't see that happening anytime soon. Just think how much work is done on the ground level for ensuring the equality and justice and liberty for citizens on this day. We are still one of the most poor countries in the world after this many years of independence. We are just progressing, but our progress is very slow. Why? Because more amount is spent on showing the world rather than on focusing on the real development. Thank you.
Okay. So now let's move on to our rebuttal session. Preeti, you can go on with your question.
Okay, Kakuli, my question will be why you celebrate your birthday? I mean, if you are questioning that why we celebrate Republic Day, then why you celebrate your birthday? Don't you think that our soldiers deserve a one-day honor so that we could like be happy and be glad that yeah they are serving our nation?
Yes, we should definitely be proud of all all the army forces of our country. But I don't spend thousands or crores on my birthday and show that I have thrown a large birthday party.
You are just an individual, like
Yes, I
spending
still
10k approx in your birthday, and when the whole country celebrates, like millions of people just celebrates a Republic Day, you are just showing that money, you on your individual thing, you're just spending 10k. Just think about that.
I spent very minimal in my birthday, and
No,
I try
I
to
am taking an average. I'm not just particularly blaming you. I'm just taking an average that you spend in your own birthday 10k, but when whole nation celebrates Republic Day, you are questioning that on that amount.
I'm not questioning on the celebration of the day or the feeling.
You said that. Why you
feeling of
celebrate?
pride. I am focusing on the amount. This is a really large amount. Yes, I'm focusing on the amount. This amount we can just spend
Kakuli,
less amount
do
on
one
this.
thing. You
and
just divide that amount with the population of India, and you'll get your answer. Okay. Just one thing.
we can utilize this amount in other useful ways for developing the lives of other poor people of the country, underprivileged section of this society, than spending this much amount on just one day. Can you imagine? It's just a one day event.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you just divide that amount with the population of India, and you will get your answer. Okay.
So now, Amit sir, you can go on with your question.
So my question is to Kakuli that Kakuli mentioned that it's a one day that we spend 300 to 400 crore, and it's a kind of wastage that we are doing. But I want to question that what is the celebration of this 26th January, that it's motivate thousands of people of this country to work for the country, as well as the army officers, as well as the persons in army working to fight for the country, or they give their life for the country. So what if motivate them to do so?
Yes, it certainly motivates people, but how much amount of time does it motivate people? Personally, if you talk about us, the people who are present here, for how long are you motivated by this Republic Day celebration? I think you will probably even forget the next morning that what happened, or you just remember the important highlights, but you will not be motivated for the rest of the year. So spending this much amount just for motivation is just very ridiculous. We can spend it on other useful matters.
Okay, Kakuli, answer me one thing. So you said that we put in crores and crores of money. So where does that money go? What do we do with that money?
The money goes on the parade, the preparation of the parade, and on the army showcasing
the different things that we buy, the different decorations. Don't you think that several people earn from this? Several people who, they look for opportunities. Don't you think this might be that?
Yes, many people earn from this. It's in fact many people earn from this, but those are the people who are smart enough to earn from these opportunities, and the underprivileged people, they still do not benefit anything from these celebrations.
Kakuli, just let me tell you that if a person would have been so privileged that he would have been selling flowers.
Okay, I would like to add on. See, Kakuli, some things are not about money. Okay, some things are more about emotion, and it's not just about like motivation or asking people to feel the patriotism. It's about appreciation for the people in the army and the people who are protecting us on the borders. It's about that. It's about that feeling. Okay, so everything is not about money. It's about our love and respect for the people serving our country.
I would like to ask where is India in a GDP ranking? Because it was mentioned India is a poor country. So can we get that idea? Where is India in GDP ranking so that we know how poor the country is?
The GDP ranking of India has certainly improved, but the improvement was very slow. If we see the population of the country, if we compare it with GDP per capita, that would be very
It's
less compared
seventh,
to other
Kakuli.
nations.
It's seventh in the whole worldwide.
GDP per capita?
Yes.
But still, we are in the developing nation phase after this much years, these many years of independence.
You know, Kakuli, America has said that we are considered as developed country right now. Recently ये एक टॉपिक उठा था, इस पे डिबेट भी आई गेस हम ज्वाइन किए कहीं पे.
I think we will develop. I don't think we are a developed country now. We need to focus more, and we are still a developing country.
Okay, so since we are running out of time, we'll move on.
Yeah, so now we will have our next debater. It's Mamta Murmu. She is pursuing her chemistry honors from BHU. She will be going for the motion. Mamta, can we have you?
Am I audible?
Yes, Mamta.
Okay. Should I start because the timer is not okay?
Gayatri, please turn on the timer. Yeah.
Okay. So today we are debating a topic which is a day of Republic Day. Republic Day is a day of immense prestige or just another government affairs? Well, I am supporting this motion that it is a day of immense prestige. Now, if we look back into our history, we see that, we have been under colonial rule for for approximately 200 years. So we have literally fought for our independence. So the question is, why did we fight for our independence? It was because the colonial rule was exploiting us, so that it could benefit from it. So we won our independence, and thus we'll won our independence to rule ourselves. Now, how do you rule yourself? And the answer is Constitution. It has all the rules and regulations which are to be followed in a country. It is basically the guiding light of a country. So first of all, why it is a day of prestige? It is a day of prestige because this day made India a complete independent state.
Amta, please on your camera.
It's on.
It's on. It's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Another point I would like to make is that Constitution needs to be celebrated, and this day is very important because it gave the people the fundamental rights and equality, liberty, justice, and so many things. Now, on a slightly lighter note, I would like to refute some of the speakers. My fellow debater Kakuli spoke about how money is being spent for showing off, but that doesn't reduce the amount of prestige and pride that I feel within me. I would like to refute another speaker, which is Rana Randeep. He talked about how it is just, how just there is the parade on Republic Day in the capital of India. So that represents the unity in diversity of India. The military of India doesn't contain army from just one state. It shows the diversity of India and how it shows how we have come a long way. And after being such a diverse country, how we have maintained the unity. So on this note, I would like to say that it is a day of great prestige.
Okay, so now moving on to a rebuttal session. Anyone who wants to questions can write me in the chat box. Okay, Sneha, you can go on.
Am I audible?
Yes, Sneha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mamta. You said on November 26, 1950, we adopted Constitution, and that's why it's a day of immense prestige, right? Can you answer when government itself not obey Constitution, then also you will say that it's a day of immense prestige?
Pardon me, can you please repeat your question?
You said on 26 January 1950, we adopted Constitution.
Yes.
And that's why it's a day of immense prestige. So can
Yes.
you answer when government itself not obey Constitution, then also you will say that it's the day of immense prestige? Because Constitution is what which contains rules and regulations for all the people. Either he is government or the people. Can you please answer?
Well, I do agree that government sometimes, it doesn't follow the rules in the constitution. I do agree at this point, but that doesn't mean that, since the government is not following the constitution, well, it's not like it is completely not following it.
So, but if the honor is itself not following the rules, then how can you say that it's oppressed?
Yes, ma'am. But Constitution has given its public various freedoms and rights. For example, freedom of speech, through which we can raise questions in the administration and in the running of this country. So that's why I would again say that Constitution is. I would say that this is a day of great prestige.
Okay, Rana, go on. I think Rana Randeep has left the meeting due to some network issue. Do anyone else want to ask some questions? Okay, he's back. Rana, you can go on. Rana, you have to unmute yourself first.
Sorry, I am facing some network issue. Can I ask my question?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So, Mamta, you just said that you feel immense proud when the army march on Rajpath. Can't that be done on Army Day or Navy Day when you
Yes,
can feel
definitely.
proud? Can't we focus more on telling the importance of constitution on the day when constitution was enforced, rather than focusing on the armies and military persons. We have other days for that, we
Well,
can
I
use that
do
on
believe that what you are saying is, I agree to it partially. That yes, government should do such kind of take initiatives to make this kind of things happen in army days, on the days on which we celebrate the greatness of army.
yeah,
But the thing is that today,
yeah.
the thing is that the military marching on the Rajpath, it shows the integrity and unity of India. And I think that is the thing that we should be proud of. I think that answers your
That is
question.
what I said. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mamta. Priyanshu, we can move on to the next speaker.
Thank
So our next speaker is Sanskar Oja. He is currently pursuing his B.Tech in B.I.T Sindri from Civil Branch batch of 2020, and he will be going against the motion. Sanskar, you can go
Okay, so
ahead.
am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Sarkar.
Okay, so once Karen Morning said that one of the biggest tasks in this world is to convince someone to a point you yourself know is a big lie. And we all can clearly see how our worthy opponents are trying to accomplish the same task. Well, with that note, a very good evening to the special guests, NSS volunteers, judges, my worthy opponents, and all the audiences. This is Sanskar Oja from Civil Engineering B.I.T Sindri, and the topic for today's debate is that Republic Day is a day of immense prestige, and I'm going to speak against the topic. Well, I think that nowadays patriotism has been converted to jingoism, just singing patriotic songs, dancing on them, and just giving slogans and all. I don't think that this is patriotism. I don't think that it is patriotism. One of my worthy opponents, Dhananjay, he told in his rebuttal session that for some underprivileged people, this day patriotism doesn't matter. They only think about at what they are going to eat today, how they are going to sleep, or how they can earn from that day. So one thing that I'm confused that for some people it is a day for a highly patriotism day. It is a very patriotic day. But for some people it doesn't matter. They just want to live their life and earn and this. I really don't understand what is why this discrimination. Second thing is that I think that this day has become a day for the VIP officials just to come, would give some things and would say something about the country and all will go and rest at their home. At the first half of the day, see the parade and all. Yes, we all get excited seeing the parade. We all feel proud of our Indian Army. But why only this day? We should feel proud of our Indian Army and all. In the rest of the days also. And the thing is, while we take immense pride in seeing all these things, why don't we actually see the history and significance of this day? While remembering my old days, when I was in my school days, the thing that mattered to me was whenever I used to go to school this day, was seeing the dance competition, getting that sweet which we call as laddu, and the more excitement was about that only. Everyone was least interested to know what this day is about. What actually this day is about. And I think that not only government but the people should also change their mindset. Actually, we should understand the value of this day and the history and the significance. Why this day is celebrated, why the constitution is so important to us, and instead of caste, creed, religion, anything, we should just stop thinking about these things and start thinking about patriotism and feel proud of our country. That's all.
Okay, so let's now move on to our rebuttal session. Okay, Preeti, you can ask your question.
Sanskar, do you got like in past experience also have got any flag from from your street on Republic Day or Independence?
Would you please repeat? Your voice was not clear.
So, have you bought any flag on Republic Day or Independence Day?
Yes, yes, I
On
bought.
that time, the flag is mostly sold by the underprivileged children who get some money by solding their flags. And you all are saying that we should not celebrate Independence Day or Republic Day. So उनका खाना
Let,
कैसे चलेगा
let
उस
me
दिन?
clear. Let me clear. I have never said that we should never celebrate Republic and Independence Day. The only thing is, what I asked and what I told in my thing was that why it is like for some people it is business day and for some people it is patriotic day. Why are we not working for that underprivileged children? Why a country has not reached such a state in which such children should also be patriotic and not thinking
Don't you
about what we
think?
will eat today?
Yeah, don't you think buying a flag does not work for that underprivileged children? Because it will definitely fed them in the end. They will get a
That
one-time
only I
food.
am asking.
No,
That only I am
you are
saying.
saying why we are not
I'm
focusing on.
sorry, the cross question is not allowed, right? So
Yes, I also think.
the participants cross question. So
Venable
I think
sir,
so it's
you
my
can
chance
ask
to
your
question.
question.
Ask
Yes,
yes.
sir. Please ask your
So
question.
Sanskar, you just told that in your school days you went to school, right? And you were
Yes, sir.
very much interested to get that sweet. So
Yes, sir.
so do you think that you are speaking over here, that you are speaking like a responsible citizen? You only don't think that that day is important for us, the day which the constitution was addressed to us. You don't think how you expect to become a good leader in future to address the people down there, respecting the country. That is my thing. You're thinking in my
Sir,
type.
actually, that is only what I try to explain in my speech. That the feeling of patriotism or the actually a culture is like that no one actually explains or signifies as the thing and the beauty of this day. No one explains that what about this day is. We just go there, we listen to the dancing, we see the singing. So, sir, we were children. If somebody would tell us the history and all, we
Yeah,
would
sorry,
definitely listen
Sanskar.
to it.
I think so. You are deviating from the question. The question that I asked was that why
Yes,
did
sir.
you think that thing that you went for eating that soup? You are telling that yes, you are trying to cover what you are saying.
Yes,
I'm
sir,
just
because
asking why
no
did you
one
think
was
you
there
chose
and
to become a
that,
good leader, right? In future, good
sir,
leader,
actually,
leadership skills, like our delegate said previously in the meeting. So, do you think this
that is, I
mentality
think,
will help you in
we are
terms?
deviating from the topic. The thing that I want to clear the answer, sir, that actually the environment was not there that we want to talk about the history of the day or the constitution and all. The only thing was that we wanted to see dancing, eating, enjoying and all, but that was only the feeling. That I said.
Okay, Adya ma'am, you can go on with your question.
Yes, I have a question. Okay, you talked
Yes, ma'am.
about all the things that were happening in the school and all that, but how do you think, as a responsible citizen, we should celebrate this day? How, according to you, should we celebrate it and generate awareness among the people?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, school programs and everything is okay. The thing is that we should understand and we should actually learn some things which is mentioned in our constitution and all. What was the significance? How it was adopted? Who was there? I mean, who adopted our constitution? I think we should learn more about these things rather than dancing, singing, shouting slogans and all. Rather than enjoying, focusing on enjoying.
Did you hear the songs that were being played, or like the dances that were being portrayed? The motive behind those dances was to highlight the culture of India and the diversity that we celebrate in India. It was in a way teaching you. Don't you think so?
Sanskar, are you there?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think some network issue. Yes, ma'am. Would you please repeat the question?
Sure. See, the dances and the various acts that were put up for the students had a certain motive behind being put up. They were actually there to celebrate the different culture and the diversity that we celebrate in India. So, don't you think it was actually being put up to teach you something in one form of art or the other?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. But I could give an example that just beside my house there was a program in which flag hosting was done. In morning, every patriotic songs were played but in the evening Bhojpuri songs are being played, ma'am. So that is what I'm trying to explain, that it is a limited time patriotism. The rest of the time, and people start thinking about their own. So what kind of patriotism is this? That for some time we are highly motivated, and then all the josh comes down.
Okay, thank you, Sanskar. Kensu,
Yes, Soumya ma'am, you can go on with your
Soumya
question.
ma'am can ask.
Yes, like now you are a grown up, okay? So,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
difference are you making now sitting and debating on Republic Day? Please exaggerate.
Ma'am, please repeat.
So, now you are a grown up. Before when
Yes,
you were a
ma'am.
kid, things were different, okay? So, what
Yes,
difference
ma'am.
are you making now sitting and debating on this topic?
Ma'am, actually, I am grown up, and actually, when I'm debating, I'm getting to learn a lot of things that I would have missed, like something that we could have learned from our school days. Then we would feel more proud and more excited about this day. In my childhood, I was just excited to see the dance and all, but now when I open the TV, I really feel proud seeing the parade and all. And I think that these things should also be there when I was in my childhood.
What is the scene now? That is what I want to know.
Ma'am, like now I think that all this shouting slogans or playing songs and all these things are just a way of showing patriotism, but this is not actually patriotism. These things I have learned and feeling the different changes.
Okay, so now let's move on to our next participant.
Thank you, everyone.
So now we'll have Preeti Chaudhary. She is pursuing her mechanical engineering from B.I.T. Sindri. She's on batch 220. Preeti, we have you.
So, very good evening to jury members, participants, and everyone present here. And I'll be speaking for the motion. And we all know the topic, right? Because it is like quite debatable from right now onwards. So, how we are able to debate on this topic? Because government topics are already very sensitive, and from our previous experiences, we can say that we did not have freedom of speech. We were not able to question our government when Britishers were there, right? But we are right now questioning our government. So how we can do it? It's because of our constitution, right? Because our constitution has given us the right so that we can speak whatever we want to, whatever we think about it. It's not like North Korea, where people are afraid of speaking, or they are even afraid of even their single action of themselves. It's not like that. Right now we have what, like in my state 8th standard, I studied press ki swatantrata. Like I've studied from Indian medium school, so I have this word in my mind. But right now we have that one. Our press can go against the motion or for the motion of our government. But in some of the countries, those who don't have democracy, they are not able to speak against their government. We are speaking about it, and our democracy is dynamic. When the circumstances changes, we can definitely change our constitution. It is not rigid that if it is formulated right now, it will be this thing only at the end also. It's not. We can change it. And while we talk about patriotism, I would give an example of my sister. She has prepared wholeheartedly for 2 years just for go to Rajpath parade for 1 day. For 2 years she prepared that just for 1 day. And when we talk about that, the expenses of Republic Day, I should say that the amount is definitely larger, but it is spent in Indian public only. Those people who serve their country for years, it is invested on them only. Students who want to go for Rajpath parade, they are trained months before the parade, and they are fed over there for 3 months or more than that. That's what is costing. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's have a question. Okay, Amitsa, you can go on.
So my question to Priti is that she mentioned that that we should. It's a very important day because it's give us right because she gave an example of North Korea where people are not aware of, means not not given the rights and
So,
all. Don't you think that currently in our country India we can see that many people are not aware of their rights because they are being discriminated and only they face several things. So don't you think rather we should celebrate so in celebrating this day we should encourage or we should make people aware or make people help people regarding their rights and regarding all the issue that they face in their life.
Don't you think when we celebrate about our Republic Day, they get to know that why we are celebrating it and what our rights are while celebrating the Republic thing?
So how can they know about the right while they are celebrating the Republic Day?
Because they will be able to know that yeah, our country has fought for something and we are getting it. Right?
So knowing about their rights, what their rights and what discrimination are being done to them. So what are the
Sir, we have
activities?
a lot of
one more
questions,
cross
so
question.
let's not go into
Okay,
cross
okay,
questions.
okay.
Okay, Akash, you can now ask your question.
Preeti, you were mentioning that we should celebrate our constitution because it provides us right as it is not present in North Korea. You were mentioning that our press is free and we can question our government. How will you justify this that our ranking of India in freedom of press is declining from 20 years? It is in the lowest of 142 rank and it is 2 points down from 2019. This 142 is the rank of 2020. How will you justify we are able to
Akash,
implement the constitution?
you were against the motion, right? So how you are able to speak against the government right now?
No, that is not the point. The point is how will you justify that our press
Let's
is
not
free?
have cross questions. There are a lot of questions.
It is declining. The press freedom ranking is declining.
I'm so sure about that it is declining because
I have the data in
because
front of
Well,
me.
I
a lot
think Kakali, you can
data
ask the question.
datas are manipulated, Akash. Datas are
Actually,
manipulated.
Akash, we have to stop you. There is no cross questioning allowed.
Okay,
Kakali,
Sanskar,
you can
you
ask.
can go on.
It's Sanskar.
Okay, Preeti, you have mentioned that the government, all the amount that has government do on this day, it is just given to them only who are doing good for the country. Okay, just explain me the process and tell me that how is the underprivileged are being benefit from it, are being benefited from it.
Like it was previously discussed, Sanskar, that underprivileged are getting jobs. They sell flags. They work for something related to groceries for the Independence Day. It is already discussed.
Okay, Kakuli ma'am, you can now ask.
I had the same question that Sanskar asked, and I want to add something more. I want to correct your facts, and that is India ranks 144th out of 194 countries in the GDP per capita. So India's GDP, overall GDP has surely increased, but still India's GDP per capita is very low, and this clearly shows how much we are focusing on individuals.
Okay, so Kakuli, I would like to mention a fact over here that when Britishers were there, a lot of people died from hunger because they just don't used to get crops for feeding themselves. So don't you think it's enhancing or it is improving because our as we can say that we could see it that our livings are increasing day by day. Like people used to live in a hut from past years, but right now we have the ceiling of cement.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely. But the rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer. So, per capita, we are not focusing more on individuals but on overall country.
That time I wasn't talking about per capita. I guess it was seventh in GDP only. Could you please pardon your question?
Okay, ma'am. Let's stop here. Okay, Rana, you can now ask your question.
Preeti, are we on the same page that the main objective of celebrating Republic Day should be telling the importance of Constitution and the importance of that day itself? And if we are on the same page, then do you think that the current way we celebrate Republic Day justifies or justifies the objective, that
Don't you
objective?
think it's your duty to know about your Republic Day celebration, or you just did not listen to your principals or teachers' speeches when they were giving Republic Day speech?
Okay, so you think so we can conduct a cricket tournament on Independence Day and say that you should know about independence, but we are
I mean, we
playing
are not
cricket and
conducting that, but we are not
like
conducting that. We are having Republic Day celebration right now. We are not conducting cricket in Republic Day. So
uh,
how can you say that?
I think I cleared my point. Like, do you think that the way we celebrate Republic Day,
Hmm.
it is anyway related to highlighting the importance of Constitution? That was my point.
Exactly. We used to celebrate or award our matriots, like soldiers or the NCC cadets, and it is definitely a patriarchal thing.
I was okay. I was mentioning actually the constitutional thing. Okay, that's
Yeah, I
it.
think the time's up, so we can move forward to the next
Oh, wait,
contestant.
wait.
Priyanshu.
Repti, you have a
Uh,
question, no? Yes.
yeah, I'll be asking one question. Preeti, can you please tell me what's the topic of discussion? Is it freedom of expression in India?
No, it means
Okay.
Republic Day means pleasure or another government affair, a topic of another government.
Okay. So I think you misunderstood most of the questions here. The main question was that, did you notice that people on national media are really claiming the facts like we are getting independence on lease for 99 years or something? Did you hear that news?
On lease, I'm hearing first time from yours.
And no, it is a news.
Could you please elaborate a bit?
Yeah, there was a viral clip of a girl who was asking, who was claiming that India had got its independence on lease for 99 years or something on a national news channel, right? So these things really get you thinking about what the importance of this or what the importance of this day should have been. Like nobody's really knowing about what the constitution is and what it brings to the table. So don't you think the Republic Day celebration should have been in that direction also? Like the cultural aspects are good, they are fine, but where's the constitution? I don't really think the constitution gets the importance that it really deserves right now on these celebrations.
Like we don't discuss about our constitution, but we use it. We use our rights. We use it regularly. So how
That
can we
is
say that we are not using we are not discussing our constitution? It's happening indirectly. And
discussing constitution is
I
not
would definitely disagree from your point that I misunderstood all of the questions. In fact, I answered all of the questions by a question which was completely right.
all right, Preeti. You are doing great. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so our
Okay,
next
so
part.
just a
next
second,
speaker-
Priyanshu. Anybody who is answering or questioning question, please just switch on your cameras, and all the participants, please switch on your cameras. Okay, Priyanshu.
So our next speaker is Neha Kumari. She is currently pursuing her B.Tech from Production and Industrial Engineering in B.I.T Sindri, batch of 2020, and she will be going against the motion.
Okay, I'm audible now.
Yes, you are.
कुछ नशा तिरंगे की आन का है कि कुछ नशा तिरंगे की आन का है, कुछ नशा मातृभूमि की मान का है। हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, क्योंकि नशा ये हिंदुस्तान की शान का है। आप सभी को गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। Respected chief guest, jury panel, NSS volunteers, and all the debaters present here, a very good evening to all. Myself Sneha Kumari, and as we know, our today's debate topic is Republic Day is a day of immense prestige or just another government affair. And I am going to speak uh, in against of the topic. So before moving further, I would like to clear. I would like to clear here uh, for more for more Indians, the significance of the Republic Day is lost because the rush of everyday living. Thus, a day of incredible significance has been reduced. Thus, uh, sorry. Actually, I am receiving a call.
Okay, so till then,
Yeah, she's back.
Okay, I'm continuing. So now making my points more clear, I am putting some points here. Point number one: 26 January 1950, India adopted the Constitution, containing the rules for the citizens and governments too. But same time, it can be seen government itself do not obey the Constitution. Point number two: at this day, most of the politics parties try to see the achievement of their party instead of talking about the things left behind, and we have to achieve that. Point number three: we can also see when there is Independence Day or Republic Day comes, government shows its achievement by saying that they have done this, but they never give credit to the people. They also make big promises on this day, but at the end, nothing happens. In short, I would like to say that if there is politics mixed with the constitution, then surely Republic Day is just a government affair, but not the prestige. And I already mentioned some point earlier to prove how Republic Day is day of government affair. Now I would
okay,
like to
Sneha,
conclude my point.
your time's up.
India is a democratic country. The citizen living
Sneha,
in
your time
India
is up actually.
enjoy the privilege to elect their leader. Although there has been a lot of improvement till now, still we are facing some problems like pollution, pollution, population, poverty, and unemployment. So now this is the time to promise each other that we will become a better version of ourselves so that we could contribute in the development of the nation. And only then we can say
Sneha, your time is up.
day
You
is the
must
Yeah,
day.
stop
you have to
now.
stop. You have to start the rebuttal.
Okay, let's start a rebuttal. Okay, Rishabh sir, you can go on with your question.
The whether you blown was not
Mute her. Mute her.
don't laugh like this. Actually, in between I
Sorry to interrupt you, everyone. Please maintain the decorum.
Okay, Rishabh sir, you can go on.
Okay, so Sneha, you just started with a wonderful quote related to the nation, and at the same time, you are questioning on the immense prestige of the nation. So, how will you justify? Like you are contradicting your own points. Please
yeah.
justify this.
See, first thing is here is that I have given to speak in against of the motion, and second thing is that there is no restriction that I can't say quote in favor of the uh, nation. I just say the quote for wishing everyone, and you heard that I said after quote that सभी को गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं कहकर मैंने उसको अंत किया था, और जो मेरी जो डिबेट शुरू हुई थी एक्चुअली वो उसके बाद की थी. तो यू कांट से दैट आई मिक्स्ड बोथ ऑफ द थिंग.
As you are against, so how can you go in the favor of same?
Rishabh, you're not allowed to cross question.
No,
Sorry.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
You are not understanding. Either you don't understand. or you are mixing both of the things?
Okay, Sneha, I have a question for you. As you said that a government is not obeying constitution. So can you give a particular example for that?
Yeah. Sir, can I answer this in Hindi? I think there is no restrictions about the
Yeah, yeah,
language.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
if I will answer in Hindi, then there is a fee. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So,
sure, sure.
पहली चीज, हमने जो पहली चीज आपने देखा होगा जब नोटबंदी हुई थी ना, नोटबंदी रातों रात हुई, किसी को पता चला? किसी को पता था? नहीं था ना. सेकेंडली, जब किसानों के लिए, जब किसान आंदोलन कर रहे थे, उनके अगेंस्ट में जब लॉज आई, तो क्या मोदी जी ने पार्लियामेंट में किसी से चर्चा किया? नहीं ना. जब जम्मू कश्मीर के को यहाँ भारत में मिलाने के लिए साइन किया गया था, तब उसके लिए क्या प्रिपरेशन थी? क्या पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा की गई? नहीं ना. तो क्या ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि लोकतंत्र के जमाने में राजतंत्र आ गया है?
बट स्नेहा, डोंट यू थिंक दैट अगर कश्मीर को इंक्लूड किया गया भारत में तो वो एक अच्छा थिंग है इंडियंस के लिए?
यस प्रीति, देखो अच्छा काम किया
Actually,
जाए,
Sneha, let me
अच्छा
tell
काम
you
किया
one thing
जाए.
that government can change
अगर
constitution
सरकार
any
कोई काम
moment.
करती है तो जनता को जानने का अधिकार है, फर्स्ट थिंग. और अगर सरकार बहुत अच्छा काम भी करे और जनता को पता ही ना हो, वो बाद में किए जा रही, तो ये एक ऐसा है जैसा कि लोकतंत्र के जमाने में राजतंत्र का है.
Okay, Sneha, but just to tell you, Farm Bill was passed with majority in the parliament. Then only it was passed. It was not that Modi, our Prime Minister Modi said and it was passed.
आजकल यही हो रहा है. मोदी सेड एंड पास में क्या आपने सुना? क्या नोटबंदी हुई तो पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा हुई थी? क्या पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा हुई थी एक बार?
लेकिन स्नेहा, नोटबंदी तो अच्छा हुआ ना कि जितना भी ब्लैक मनी जमा होगा सबके साथ, वो सबके पास वो
Demonetization was it a part of the constitution?
Please mention, yes, please mention the rule which has been violated of the constitution. Which rules has been violated?
Yeah.
Which rule was violated by?
I just answered this.
Yeah.
कि पहला जो अभी मैंने फादर सर को आंसर दिया कि कोई भी रूल बने, चाहे वो हमारे कंट्री के लिए बहुत ही अच्छा क्यों ना हो, जनता को ये जानने का अधिकार है कि क्या रूल बन रहा है. और सबसे पहला संविधान में लिखा गया है कि कोई भी रूल जब लाया जाता है तो उसके ऊपर पार्लियामेंट में बहस हो. क्या नोटबंदी के ऊपर बहस हुई? नहीं हुई था ना. तो हम कैसे कह सकते हैं?
स्नेहा, तुमको नहीं लगता?
Sneha, can you mention the rule number or where it is written that every topic has to be discussed before enforcing?
What word you are, as usual, you are not clear actually. Can you say in Hindi?
Sneha, let me interrupt you. There are certain rules for the debate. Kindly do not try to put down the questioner in any manner. Acknowledge the person who is questioning you.
No, ma'am. But if I'm right, then I'll answer. And if I said something wrong, then I'm really sorry for that.
No, I'm not questioning you on your thoughts. I'm just telling you to acknowledge. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, now let's move on to our next participant.
Okay, so thank you, Sneha. We can move on to our next participant. Shubham Raj is pursuing his mining engineering from B.I.T. Sindri 2K20 batch. We will be going for the motion. Shubham, can we have you?
Yes, sir.
Shubham Raj. Yeah, Shubham. You can start.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Please start. Gayatri,
Of the will of the people. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, seniors, and good evening, chief guest. I, Shubham Raj of Mining Department of Batch 2K20. I am here to express my views regarding the topic. Republic Day is an immense pride for the nation. When we talk about the Republic Day, a word comes in our mind: Constitution. The Constitution, which was implemented to our nation on 26 January 1950. But it was adopted by our nation in 26 November 1949, and it was taken about 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to create the Constitution of India. And at the 1950, the GDP rank of India was about and having a GDP of 567 million. And at that time, there was an expenditure of $6.4 million implementing the constitution to our nation. And our GDP rank in the all over the world is fifth and having a GDP of $2 trillion. And we are expending 300 to 400 crore rupees just to celebrate the Republic Day. So if we are comparing the expenditure and patriotism feeling, this is a foolish topic. And when we talk about constitution, and another word comes in our mind, that is a democracy. Democracy does not represent the government; it represents the citizen of India. It one line that democracy is to the people, for the people, and by the people. Government cannot implement constitution in their own way. They can only implement the constitution according to citizen will. If they want, they can amendment the constitution. If there will be no, then there will be the constitution. So constitution not a static government document, it is a living document. And Republic Day celebrating in our country, we celebrate in our country just to know every people about the culture of another states. Such as we are living just in one state, as Jharkhand state, we only know the culture of our neighboring state or any other state. Because of that, the people was just unaware of about the neighboring states. So at that time, the Republic Day was organized, or Republic Day was celebrated just to make people aware of their neighboring states. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to our session. So participants, can we have your questions?
Hello, Shubham. Do you know how much fund is allocated to, organizing national games?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Matlab, you just mentioned that the Republic Day is, you just mentioned that how much money is cost, like how much fund is allocated to celebration of Republic House, and that is just a waste of money, right? So, don't you think in a similar manner, most of the things that the government does in, terms of public interest is also a kind of wastage of those money, like the national games or any kind of celebration for the, festivals and all. Isn't that the wastage of money?
I have not told about the wastage of money. I just said that if we compare the expenditure on today and patriotism feeling, that will be the foolish idea. I've just said that. I have not told about expenditure of today, sir.
Can you please repeat what you just said?
Sir, I have not told about the expenditure of the today Republic Day. I've just said that comparing the expenditure of Republic Day and patriotism idea, that it is just foolish idea.
Sometimes things are above money, like emotions are above money. You cannot compare everything on a monetary basis, right? So telling that this expenditure is too high and hurting the sentiments of people, I think that's wrong on some level. Not completely, but it is wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Shubham, I have a question. Do you know the budget of one session of IPL?
No, sir.
So if you will know that, then you will also say that it's a wastage of money.
Sir, I have not told about the wastage of money of our nation. I have just told about the patriotism feeling. If we compare it with the money, then it is a foolish idea. I have just told it, sir. I have not told about the expenditure of our nation. and it is a national day, sir. Why we should bother about the expenditure of our nation on this occasion?
Okay, so
Shubham, you said that we celebrate Republic Day so that we can be aware of our neighboring states. Did you say that?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So now that you're celebrating Republic Day, what have you come to know about your neighboring states, and how do you exactly come to know about your neighboring states through Republic Day?
Sir, as many type of dances I've seen in previous Republic Day, that many types of dances is organized in the previous Republic Day, such as I came to know about the Assam dance, Bihu, how they dance, and many another state also came to know that how our state dance, such as Sarhul, and many type of dances, how they look like.
okay, so now let's move on to our next participant.
So our final participant for today's debate is Abhinav Nikki. He is currently pursuing his B.Tech in BMS College of Engineering, Bengaluru, from Electronics and Communication Engineering, batch of 2K21, and he will be going against the motion.
So, am I
Abhinav?
audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Avinav.
Yeah, Abhinav, go.
First of all, a very, very warm good evening to all the chief guests, all the jury members, all the fellow participants, and all the other members watching in the audience. Republic Day, a day of immense prestige, or just another day of, or just another government affair. So I would like to stress over this point with a poem that is inspired by that of the B.A. Das, I come from to India. So I come from to India, the one where on every 26th January and 15th August, we see our national flag raising to the sky. And I come from an India where on the very next day we see the flag thrown at the road and cars passing over it. I come from an India where all the high authorities like the president, the prime minister, and all of his cabinet sit at the Rajpath and witness the amazing parade. While in the same state, our farmers who feed our country, who are known as the backbone of Indian economy, fight for their rights at other part of the same state in which the parade is going on. I come from an India where this 26th January and 15th August is treated as a national holiday, and all the office workers celebrate the holiday and spend times with their families. While on the other hand, the economically weaker society have to work on this day also to find some living for them. Because if they take a holiday, then they won't have anything to eat at the night. Okay, so we all know that 26th January 1950, our constitution was implemented. But if I ask you, what is the content of the constitution? Do you think we know enough about our constitution? Would it be better if the media, instead of emphasizing on the amount of money that the prime minister spend on his kurta, would show instead of this, the media needs to show the content in our constitution so that the common people could know what are their rights and they could live in a better way. So at the end, I would like to conclude that I feel that patriotism is decreasing, and it's just that we sing some national songs. We sing our national song on 26th January and 15th August just once in the morning, and then we forget about our country for the rest of the year. So it would be better if we could focus more on improving our country and not let these days just be a day of another government affair. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to our last rebuttal session of this evening. So let's have your questions.
So my question to Avinav is that Avinav mentioned that the day in which we celebrate the 26th January, and on the same day, means on the celebrating our prestigious day on the same day, he mentioned that the on the same day we see the farmers are struggling to sell their crops and they are struggling with their life and all. So my question to Avinav is that means what should we do? Should we not celebrate the Republic Day, or should we go to the farmer and help them? So how it would affect the patriotism that we are talking about today?
Yeah, first of all, that's a good question. And I never mentioned that we should not feel pride on our country on these parades. I just think that if we could also, along with all of these, we could help our country to grow, like to help the farmers grow, would indirectly mean the growth of the country. So if we could help them, then it would be a better thing to do. And yeah,
Okay, so celebrating this Republic Day, how it pulls back you from helping your country to grow, or means in the terms of GDP and all everything. So how celebrating this Republic Day or some kind of prestigious day or national day that we celebrate is withdrawing you or pulling you back from the growth and all?
see what's pulling us down is our mentality. We need to spark that patriotism mentality in our youth and all. And this parade and all is a great thing. We should take pride on this. But if we could also focus on sparking that patriotism in our youth by teaching them in schools, it would be a better thing to do.
Abhinav, I have a question for you. Have you ever celebrated any event or something like relatives' marriage or anything else? Aside, you have also seen that there are various kind of poor people who have nothing to eat. Do you also invite them to eat inside?
No.
So why would the government spend those money in the development of poor people?
Because they are also the citizens of India, right?
If you don't invite anyone, why shall government do all the things?
Uh, I am not married yet, but yeah, fine. The Indian government, while casting the vote, Indian government comes to every poor citizen and tell them that vote for me. And I guess they have that, they should carry on that responsibility after they come to power. So they are responsible for those poor
In
citizens
that
as
case, you
well.
also invite people in the same way. Bring gift for me. Bring gift for me.
Yeah, actually, no, that's not a good thing. But yeah, the leftovers are given to the poor people, right? We don't just throw it to the dump yard. We give them to the poor people who needs them. So yeah.
Okay, so how do you wish to sparkle or enkindle that feeling of patriotism among your
Yeah. So
like
yeah.
peers and everyone else? What better way do you have?
The best way for it would be to have a separate subject in school regarding our constitution. We have a social science, but I don't think we know much from it other than just mugging up the preamble. That's all I could remember. So yeah, if
Okay,
it could be
had
better,
there
we
been
could.
any other subject for you in school regarding this? I'm sure the condition would have been same. And talking of inviting people in, like you also do social service once in a while, right? But you do not think of people every other day. So acknowledge that fact.
Yeah, but it's the government of India. The people of India have elected them. So don't you feel that it's their responsibility to take care of the citizens?
Okay, I have one
You being
statement
a
to make.
patriotic member or a patriotic citizen of the country, don't you think it's your responsibility to like feel that brotherhood within you and that patriotism within you?
Yes, see, what I could do, I could help max 10 peoples because I'm not that rich also. But if someone is sitting on that position, then he has that power, he has that economy. You always stressing over the point that money is below emotions, right? So that's the point. If someone is dying out there out of hunger, then it's the duty of the government to provide them the food so that they could survive.
Just since
Because
it's the end of the debate, I would like to mention one point, Sagar. It is that marriage is a personal operation, right? It's a personal choice that one has to make. But in terms of government of India, it's not a person's personal entity or his funds to be spent on himself, right? So that answers your question. And my question here is, since it's a debate, and Abhinav, you're quoting a whole poem developed by Vedas here. Okay, so we cannot really counter that exactly, but
no, it
what
wasn't.
his stance was, what his stance was, he spoke that a poem on a global stage, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that kind of defaming for his own country? So that is also kind of against his own constitution, because he had a right to raise his voice and influence people in India, but he still did that on a global level, right?
Yeah, that's totally true. And I have not quoted any of his words. I have just said that this poem is inspired by that.
Okay,
Is
and second point, and the only point that you made in whole 3 minutes was that it shouldn't be Republic Day shouldn't be celebrated just for one day. Patriotism shouldn't be just celebrated for one day. It should be a year-long process. It should be a feeling that should be instilled in people's mind for the whole year, right? But what do you suggest, that we shouldn't be celebrating Republic Day even for one day, like, or do you think that it's just all everything is just hoax?
see, I won't say that we shouldn't celebrate, but the scenario of today is that all the higher authorities just go there, mark their attendance, and some of them even sleep while the parade
So
is
what?
going on.
So what? The
So
parade
yeah,
is going on. It is a day that is being celebrated for the whole country. It's not just operation of Delhi. It's about my school also. It's about every government institution that is celebrating it. So how can you just take one instance and claim that it is not being done properly?
I don't think that it's just one incident. We see this every year, happening every
That
year.
is still one incidence from Delhi. It's not the same case with the whole
No,
country.
it's
You
just
cannot compare 1.25 billion people with a set of crowd sitting in Delhi and at Rajpath. I don't
yeah.
think that's
I,
appropriate.
gue- I guess it's the story of every house. Like my father went to school, he hosted the flag and all, and then he came back and just forget. We didn't even talk about it.
So
So
As Adya said, what should be done? What's the counterpart? Like, what we should do? What's your suggestion to it?
my suggestion would be to focus more on teaching what patriotism really is. These days, patriotism is just some
The idea
proof
is
of
great. The idea is great. We
yeah,
do have a that civics subject in our
yeah,
syllabus, but
yeah.
still the execution is the problem. And I don't think any government or anyone can really counter that problem in India right now. The execution is the problem. That means the teachers that are delivering the subject's knowledge.
No,
That's the problem.
I don't think the teachers are the problem. The whole education system is a bit backwards. I would say that it's not giving the youth the enough information to thrive through this competition world.
All right, so that'll be the time. And I would say, so your point was the problem is with the national education system and not the Republic Day. You yourself countered your whole argument.
No, the
Okay, Abhinav,
the
now it's
national
time
no
up.
just
The time is up, so let's move on. Thank you, Abhinav. So now we would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Praful Kumar sir, for giving us his precious time from his busy schedule. We are profoundly happy and delighted to have you, sir. Mukund, please present a token of love, and Gaurav, you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
just let Mukund present it.
Uh, is my screen visible?
Yeah, present it. Yeah, Gaurav, you can present it, sir.
Thank you, Praful sir, giving your precious time, taking out from your busy schedule, and making this online debate competition successful. On behalf of NSS BIT Sindri, we would like to give token of love. Please accept this, sir.
Thank you. I really accept it. And I want to say that this is organized very well. All the participants, they came well prepared. And the surprising part is that not only they came well prepared, they were given the topic just a few minutes before the debate, and they could do it so well. The rebuttals were sometimes was going little beyond the rules and regulations, but I think everyone maintained a good understanding of the topic, and they focused on what were spoken. So I really congratulate all of you. I don't know who will be the winner, but in my mind, all of you are a winner. Key in a debate is to focus on the topic, stay calm, and answer the question, because some of you sometimes miss the question. And that was, I could see quite evidently that you are trying to not listening the question, you are just focusing what you have to say. Don't be a politician where they answer the question what they have to say. Whatever question you ask, they will tell you whatever they have in mind. Debate is a time where you listen carefully what is being asked or what is the topic is given to you, and then you speak on that. I was very happy and thrilled to hear all of you. So congratulations, and I say that all of you are a winner. Please continue doing this, because this is what is going to help you in your many career aspects, your group discussion, your interviews, and this conference will take you really far in your life. So congratulations, all of you. Thank you very much. And thank you for this honor to me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your kind and encouraging words, sir. We are really honored to have you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Gayatri, you can move on to thank our judges.
Okay, thank you, Vivek. Okay, so I would like to thank all our jury members, Shimli ma'am, Avinav sir, Roshan sir, Samya ma'am, Aja ma'am, and Ananya ma'am for giving us their precious time and coming to this meet and making this event even more successful. And ma'am and sir, without your support and guidance, this wouldn't have been possible. So thank you a lot. And I would also like to thank all the participants who have said so beautifully and your views on this wonderful topic. And we are honored to have you all. And without you all, this event wouldn't have been successful and as much exciting as much you have made. So thank you all. And I would like everyone to put on their cameras, please.
And if anyone want to say something, so they can.
I would like to ask the jury members if you would
yours.
like to say anything.
You want to comment on the topic or something, please go on.
It was a wonderful session, juniors, especially NSS members has done really well. And I would also like to thank especially the participants from other schools and colleges who have joined here in B.I.T. Sindri. And it was, I think we all enjoyed, from judges, jury, from participants and all the NSS members.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I would like to conclude this event, word of words. You know, the main motive of this event was to share and gain knowledge. At last but not the least, I would like to thank everyone for making this event, the War of Words, a successful one. I would like to thank all the participants who were there in the previous rounds, the qualification heat, and those who qualified to the final round, for such enthusiastic and informative speeches, heating the meat with your rebuttals, your questions, and giving befitting answers to them. I would like to thank our judges for suggesting the topic, taking active interest in the debate as well, and helping us with the judgment. At last, I would like to thank the NSS volunteers, seniors, and especially the team of Word of Words who worked hard with me to make Word of War a success, namely Priyanshu, Gayatri, Adarsh, Mukund, Gaurav, Dipesh, and Abhishek. And specifically, I would like to thank Raj sir and Sagar sir for helping, supporting, and motivating us throughout the event. I would like to conclude it in this way. There is a constant state of war within ourselves to find the better version of ours. Each day is a blessing to work upon us and become better by debating our own thoughts and beliefs. So once again, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining the War of Words. Let's debate it. So here we conclude this event, Word of Words. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Participants, the results will be announced
Thank
soon.
you.
You can leave the meeting.
It was really a thrilling event.
Thanks. Gaurav.
Please share the screenshots in the group also.
Yeah, sure, Sanskar.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Thank you.
This is for you.